Hi, my name is Carrie, and I'm your local encaustic artist here in Mount Dora. And today we're working with encaustic wax, which is an ancient Greek technique. It dates back 4,000 years ago. And there are numerous ways that you can use the wax. Of course, we know the bees make the wax. And there's two types of wax. There's the refined, which is the yellow that you see here, or there's the bleached beeswax, which is clear. So depending on what you want your piece to look like is kind of what you use. You can also get colored. It's already got the pigment and the Demar varnish already in it, which makes it a lot easier. Or you can take the clear beeswax and use oil sticks and cut them off and make your own pigment. In this case, we're using, in these little containers, are the block beeswax, the colored block beeswax, which you will get more beeswax that way. Or you can go through Encaustico and get these little tins. If you don't already have tins, you can buy the tins yourself, but you won't get as much wax. These tins, once you take all of the advertisement off of them, and this one was $16.99 at the art specialty store. You can go online and order this directly through Encaustico, and they would just go straight on the griddle. These tops, you can also use them to mix colors or to add your refined beeswax to make it more luminous and less intense. So right now everything is kind of melting, and we'll get back to the next part of the video. There is a board called Encaustic board. This is just a tiny version of it. You can also get this cradle, and by that I mean with an edge all the way around. Or you can do like I did, and I got a 4x8 sheet of plywood, which is only about 1/8 of an inch thick, and cut it into 8x10 squares. And if you do that, you're going to have a rough edge. So in that case, you just take a little block of sandpaper, and you take the rough parts off. Then take it a second. Once you get that done, then you can start with your wax. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, now you want to heat up your board, and I use kind of more industrial type heat gun versus a hair dryer, which you don't really want to use. This one has a couple speeds on it. So you heat up your board. Okay, after you've heated up your board, you want to seal in that wood. Make sure you put the bottom of this into a paint can or something, because it's extremely hot. I take the unbleached wax and just coat your board after you've heated it, and coat in a nice even consistency over the whole board. It seals the wood, and it dries rather quickly, so you have to go back into the pot numerous times. Okay, after you've done that, if you want to add colors, at this point you decide what you want to use. And my red has not heated up yet. I'm going to move that over. I think what I'll do is I'll use the white and put the white right on top. It's already, the first layer is already dry. So I'm using the white, and I'm putting the white all over. Now what you need to do after you did the original first layer is you can heat it if you want to. It seals it, but I'm going to do this way. I'm going to heat it right now. And you don't get too close because you will melt it all the way down to the wood. Now this fuses that color to the original color. And you don't need much. You can see it takes the sheen and then you just cut it off. Put it back in your paint can so you don't burn yourself. Alright, so now you've got white on top. You can do a multitude of different things with this. I'm going to use this blue and I'm just going to make a swipe. Make a couple swipes. And this, you can do anything you want with this wax. There's no wrong way to do anything. I'm going to add a little black. This is just for the demo purposes, but I would take the heat gun now and fuse these colors. I can make them run together, or I can just fuse the top so they don't go anywhere. But as you will see the colors start to melt and move. And that's the fun part of the wax. It's almost kind of like watercolor when it mixes together. Now, I'm going to do all over so it fuses it to that last layer. If I want to move some, I can do that. See how that's moving into the white? This one is too, and so is the black. Ooh. It's a lot of fun, and you get a lot of different effects. Now what I'm going to do, you want to let your wax rest some because otherwise it gets so hot. It's still moving around and the heat gun's off. But it won't take it long. It'll dry. Like you can move it for a certain period of time, but then you're not going to be able to move it anymore because it's like a candle wax. It'll dry. Okay, now we're just going to take the refined beeswax. It's kind of yellowy. And we're going to put that in some areas. Maybe not all, but you want to have a little continuity about your work, so you want to put it in a few spots. And then you want to heat it again because you are fusing that layer of wax to the next layer. But you're probably not going to move too much around. But you can. There's nothing saying you can't. So you can see the difference between the bleached and unbleached. You got a yellowy tint to it, which is more antique-y. And then, of course, it's all moving around. Okay, the next step is we're going to take shellac. It's usually made by Zinsser. And this one is clear. This is what I choose to use, is clear. They have it in amber. And you just mix it up. Now this is the blowtorch. You have to turn the thing on or it's not going to come on. And don't be afraid of it. It's not going to hurt you. Okay, it's all the way on. The next thing I'm going to do is take, I've got Kleenex. I like to use a paper towel. Then you just dab it on your piece, like so. And it is dark out here, so I'm sorry, we just decided to do it at this hour. Dab it, and for safety purposes you want this can away from where you're blowtorching. You do not want this can anywhere near you. Okay, then I take my blowtorch and it sets it on fire that quickly. It will go out on its own, but if you choose to blow it out, you want the effects to stay just the way they are, you can do that. Okay, this is your basics. You can get more into encaustics, but the number one thing you need to remember is to be safe. The shellac should be nowhere near your blowtorch. When you put it on, get the can away. And everything you play with here is hot. Do not have little children around, and make sure you are safe when you use them.